Manchester United have beaten Barnsley 7-0 in the League Cup third round. And Manchester United have put out a very strong team this evening to get the job done. Erik ten Hag is serious about winning that League Cup again and celebrating it like it's the Champions League. We know how much he loves a cup win, and Manchester United's record under ten Hag is pretty decent in the cup. Now this is, I think, the biggest win Manchester United have ever had in the League Cup, but more often than not we used to put young players out in this competition, but Erik ten Hag seems to want to put a full strength, well, not a full strength team, but a very strong lineup out in this competition to go out there and win it. And I do understand that his job is on the line and he does need to win everything he can get his hands on, because he's not going to win the Premier League this season. He can't win the Champions League, and the next best thing is the Europa League, obviously, and obviously you've got the FA Cup, which is harder for me than the Europa League. The Europa League should be easier to win, really, because you've got harder teams in the FA Cup and not so many teams take it so serious in the League Cup, so it is a winnable competition. Definitely, if he goes out all guns blazing in it, he could well have another chance of winning another trophy. But this wouldn't be seen as a success if Manchester United win this and finish like fucking 7th in the league. It really wouldn't. So, but we've scored 7 goals for the first time under Erik ten Hag, and I'm shocked that Manchester United have scored 7 in this game and 3 in the previous game. I really am. But you've got to see the opposition as well a bit in this. That the opposition are League One. We did beat Barnsley a few weeks ago with the under-21 3-2 away from home. So, I mean, no disrespect to them, but Manchester United's star-studded millions of pounds squad should be beating these pretty comfortably anyway. Not taking anything away from the players and the manager. It was a good win, 7-0. I'm very pleased with that. I would have liked to see some more younger players come on. I'm surprised in the second half Ethan Wheatley didn't come on when we were like 5-0 up. I thought surely we should give him some minutes. I mean, I'm a bit concerned that he's bringing the likes of Bruno Fernandes on in the second half when he's playing a shit ton of football. Manchester United have got 8 Europa League group games coming up, some before Christmas and some after the New Year. I've got league games. We're going to probably go far in the League Cup by the looks of it. If we get a favourable draw, we could do so. I mean, we probably will go fairly far in the Europa League, so there's going to be a lot of games to play, and I thought that was a bit concerning that he's bringing players off the bench that probably could do with a rest, with games coming thick and fast, and we need to move our attentions to that game against Palace at the weekend. Once the game was won, I was thinking about Palace at the weekend, but where do you actually start with this? A great first goal from Marcus Rashford. I mean, it was probably a bit too easy for him, but a nice finish from him. A Garnacho assist. I mean, Garnacho's actually on fire at this moment in time, and it'll be interesting to see who actually starts at the weekend, whether it's Rashford and Garnacho or Rashford and Ahmad. I'm not too sure, but that is a good conundrum for the manager to have, that players are actually starting to play well in the attacking areas, which hasn't happened for a while. Now, I'm not getting carried away at all. Erik ten Hag is still under massive pressure to turn this around, because a defeat against Palace will certainly put a lot of doubts back in people's minds that Manchester United have turned a corner, because these are 2 relatively easy games that Manchester United have just had. But Garnacho getting a couple of goals as well. I mean, before that, obviously we had Antony's penalty as well. It was nice to see Antony get a penalty. He's come back into the fold for this game, which is nice to see him get on the score sheet, because he's probably not going to play a lot of football. I would hope that he could probably play in some of the Europa League games, because surely we can rotate a bit in that competition, you would think. Obviously Garnacho getting some goals. There's too many. Rashford getting another goal. Obviously Eriksen getting a couple as well. So there was a lot of goals there for Manchester United in this game. I mean, Eriksen hasn't got many goals for Manchester United, so nice to see him get a couple of goals there. He doesn't play too often. I would like to see some of these players play a bit more in, like Eriksen and Antony, play a bit more in the Europa League games, and save the other ones for the Premier League. Evans as well, probably another player you would see in the Europa League. Maybe Collier as well, playing more of a left back. I'm not too sure what's happened with Harry Amas. Why isn't he included in the squad? I'm not too sure, but I mean, even Ethan Wheatley did, as I said, didn't get on the pitch. You would hope that them players will feature at some point in the Europa League group stage, because you would, I mean, with the fixtures that Manchester United got in the Europa League, you would expect Manchester United to comfortably win the first, some of them early games. And Manchester United could get some early wins under their belt, get clear at near the top of that league, and then Manchester United can maybe rotate in that, because we're going to have to rotate a bit. We can't be playing main players every single game in this Europa League and League Cup, or it could lead to some more injuries. There's more games been added to the calendar this time around, so it's going to be a bit more taxing for Manchester United, and we will have to wait and see. I mean, it is concerning considering the amount of injuries we had last season, but it is what it is. Overall, you can't complain at all tonight, really, because of the fact that the manner in which Manchester United have got it done. That is just my only concern, that he didn't have maybe a couple more young players on the bench that he could bring on instead of the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen, Ahmad come on as well, but he didn't come on until near the end. But you know, Matthias de Ligt come on as well. I just don't want any of them players to get any sort of injuries for Manchester United, because we could be back to square one if the injuries mount up again. Because as good as these 2 wins are, it is only 2 games. We've got to carry on like this. We've got to keep going now. Win a few games on the trot. We've got some winnable games. Palace and FC20 and even Spurs. Them games are all winnable games for Manchester United. None of them teams you're looking at and you're saying, fucking hell, they're playing well at all. So they are winnable games. Whether Manchester United win them or not is another matter. But if Manchester United could win at least 2 of them games, it would be steering Manchester United in a better position, because as even though these 2 games were not the hardest 2 games for Manchester United, I'm actually surprised that Manchester United, certainly shocked that Manchester United put 7 past these. I'm pretty shocked that Manchester United put 3 past Southampton in the previous game, considering how Manchester United have played. Normally you would expect these sort of results from Manchester United with the current, I think with the current players that Manchester United have got. I think there is some good players in this team, I really do. Garnacho is now starting to look a Manchester United player that is capable of starting week in, week out. He did start a number of games last season, but actually capable of playing at the level Manchester United need now. Obviously a young player getting better. Rashford obviously getting a couple of goals was positive again. This evening we need him back in goal scoring form, because I'm not sure that Ahmad is the goal scoring player, attacking player that Manchester United can rely on to get the goals, and neither Eriksen. Now neither of them have been bad. Eriksen's looked alright, and Ahmad's been very decent, but I'm not sure them 2 are going to get a lot of goals for Manchester United. So we're going to probably have to, at this moment in time, while Højlund's out, rely heavily on Rashford and Garnacho getting a lot of Manchester United's goals. But it is what it is at this moment in time. We've just got to move forward, move on to that next game now, hopefully get a positive result against Palace and look forward. I mean, I'm still thinking, is it where Manchester United are going, but we will have to just wait and see what happens. But this is a bit more positive. It's more positive than it has been for a while, because although we should be putting these teams to the sword, Manchester United haven't done that for a long time, and they haven't had a big win like this under Erik ten Hag, so that is positive. Anyway, smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.